Hi there, my name's Firefighter Norbury. I'm here to give you a little look around the truck today for the virtual tour. So we'll start with this locker over here. This houses a lot of our RTC equipment, which is road traffic collisions. A lot of this is used to help cut open vehicles that have been in accidents and help bring people to safety from there. So one of our tools is we have our hydraulic cutters here. As you can see, they're quite big, quite heavy, and they connect via a hose to a pump, and this lets us use them like big tin snips basically, and this can cut through a lot of strong materials like the car doors and things like that, so very handy. Another one, just very similar, we have these spreaders. So again, used in RTCs, connects via a hose to a big pump, and we use this handle here, and this opens and closes these spreader arms at the front there, and they let us get through doors and break hinges and be able to access cars when the normal door mechanism handles won't open. So again, it can be a life-saving piece of equipment there. Down the bottom here, with our trusty door enforcer, which is quite a heavy bit of kit, and we use this to break through doors. So we use this, hit the locks quite hard on the doors, and be able to gain access to people's houses when they're in trouble and unable to get out by themselves. And down here, this is where we keep our little pump, and that powers the RTC spreaders and cutters that I showed you just previously, which makes it operate connected by a hose, and that enables us to operate them tools. So moving on to the locker over here, a lot of this stuff is used in conjunction with road traffic collisions. So we've got some cones and things here, but quite a fun tool up the top here. It's called our Halligan bar. It's a multi-use tool. You can see it's got a spike edge here and a bit of a wedge end there. And this is also used for breaking into cars where people are trapped and prying open doors where people can't get inside. Very useful for rescuing casualties. So quite a heavy duty piece of equipment there. So moving on to the final locker for this side of the truck, this is where we keep our hoses. So they're rolled up here. We have various different sizes for different types of jobs. We also have our high pressure hose reel down the bottom here. So this is very accessible. If we need to get it off in a hurry, we're able to just bring that out and open up the handle, and away we go. So at the back of the truck here is probably our most important piece of equipment. This is the pump. This is where we connect it to a fire hydrant which supplies us with water, and we're able to connect hoses to the back here and control how much water is going through the hose and out onto the fire. So on this side of the truck we have various tools. So we've got these handles, these are called Jafco handles, and we've got all different connections to put on the end of them. We have pitchforks and rakes and the beaters over here. So they're used to beat down a wildfire to stop it spreading. So this is our portable pump, very similar to the one I showed you at the back of the truck, except we're able to take it off here and we're able to put it next to ponds or swimming pools, and we're able to take the water from them swimming pools through the pump and apply that to a fire. So very important piece of equipment here.
Hi there, I'm Matt Gamblin, and I'm going to talk to you this afternoon about the role for this position of the appliance. So this is where the officer in charge sits and operates from. So in here, some of the equipment we've got. So we've got our main scheme radio system, which is our link between the fire engine and fire control. So any messages we need to send or any information we need to find out, we do that via our airwave radio and talk to fire control. We've also got the mobile data terminal, which is used as a mobilising system for us now. So as soon as this particular fire engine is mobilised, for example, it would come up on the screen where we're going, the address, what the incident type is, and from that we follow a sequence of events where we can update our status, send messages to fire control. We've got a crash data system, so if we go to a road traffic collision, we can find out all the information around the specific vehicles that may be involved. Again, highlighting risks and hazards to firefighters of where we may be able to cut, where airbags are, where fuel lines are and things like that. It brings it all up on the screen for us with the type of vehicle, so that we can print that off and have it available to us as we're working at a road traffic collision. So I'm the driver today, so my main responsibility is to drive the other firefighters to the incident if we're called out. So if we are called to an incident, the first thing we need is for people to realise that we're going to an emergency call. So I can activate the blue lights from here to indicate to other road users that we're attending a fire call where we need to get there quickly. Other things I've got here, so I've got a sat nav. Okay, so as we're mobilised, similar to the MDT that we saw earlier, on here the incident will pop up and I press a button, it'll take us straight to it. So it's nice and easy for me as a driver to be able to see exactly where we're going. If we need to get water from the appliance, I've got a PTO switch here that engages the pump. So if we need to put water on a fire, this is where it starts from, as the driver responsibility to do that. Another really important thing as part of the shift is to ensure that there's always fuel in it. So at the end of the shift today, I shall make sure that we've got fuel ready for the next watch taking over later. It's also my job as a driver to send messages via the airwave radio that we saw earlier. So whilst the incident commander and the firefighters in the back are dealing with the incident, it's my job to do a command and control point of view is to liaise and send messages to fire control.
Behind me is the Aerial Ladder Platform, or ALP for short. We've got two of them in West Sussex Fire and Rescue. One of them is based here at Worthing, the other one is at Horsham. We use them for aerial firefighting or for rescuing casualties at height, and we get a lot of incidents where we assist the ambulance service, as this vehicle carries a stretcher on it that we can use to lower people down to safety. The vehicle weighs about 26 tonnes. Once it gets to work, the four legs that you can see here deploy out and it actually lifts the vehicle off of the ground. The aerial platform can then extend. It has a working height of 32 metres if it goes vertically up. If it's going out, it can reach approximately 22 metres, or if we were using it at a quayside or something like that, it could actually go down about 5 metres for operational use. We can also use it for firefighting. So if we have a significant fire, we can actually plug our hoses into the rear of this vehicle and actually apply up to 3,800 litres a minute of water onto the fire. So generally we would only use this for significant incidents. Now we're going to show you some of the capabilities that this vehicle can do. This is the aerial platform now being extended. This is now the view from 32 metres up. As you can see, you can get a fantastic view of an incident. We generally would have a crew of two with this vehicle. One would operate it from the ground, one would be in the cage. We can also use a rescue stretcher in the cage, so if we rescue a casualty that needs to be kept flat, they can be placed into the cage and brought down to safety nice and flat. Behind me is the heavy rescue tender. We have three of these in West Sussex, one here at Worthing, one at Chichester and one at Crawley. That gives strategic cover across the county. This vehicle mainly attends incidents where persons are trapped, so road traffic collisions, aircraft incidents, railway incidents, machinery entrapments, anything like that. It goes out with a crew of 4 and it carries some very specialist rescue equipment on board, cutting equipment, lifting equipment. One of the most unique things about this vehicle is the crane that we have on it. We have a HIAB crane here. We are all HIAB crane operators at those 3 stations, and we can use this crane to move vehicles. Sometimes we've used them to move animals in the past, or anything that we need lifting out of the way to perform a rescue, we can use this vehicle for. The heavy rescue tender carries a multitude of rescue equipment. On this side of the vehicle, we've got all our hydraulic rescue equipment. This is what we use mainly at road traffic collisions when we're extricating people from accidents. Very powerful cutting equipment, spreading equipment, hydraulic rams so that we can push the dashboard away, and that's all operated by this pump here. We've got lots of other equipment here for more intricate rescues, socket sets, cutting equipment, pedal cutters. As we move across here, we've got lots of equipment in here that we use for a variety of different tasks, gaining entry to different situations. Below it, we've got some special equipment for shoring up. If we've had a vehicle go into a building, we can use this equipment here to shore the building up in the early stages so that we can carry out a rescue. And also we've got on here something called an LGV platform, and that's for if we're working with large vehicles, because sometimes they're quite tall, and for using the cutting equipment we need to be a little bit higher up to operate that. So we can set this platform up and then we can stand on it to use our equipment. On this side of the vehicle, we've got lots more equipment. We've got all the strops that we use in conjunction with the crane if we're lifting up cars or anything like that. We've got some high pressure airbags, we've got disc cutters, we've got portable winching equipment. Everything on this fire engine can be taken off and taken to the scene of operations, because quite often accidents don't happen right on the road. They might be off road or in a field or something like that, so we can take all the equipment off of here. In this locker here we've got our line rescue equipment, we've got rescue stretchers, and in here we've got all our heavy duty lifting airbags. We've actually got a capability on this vehicle of lifting up to 55 tonnes, so that's quite a weight that we could lift here. We've also got drills and lots of other equipment that we can use with our special camera that we've got in the cab for getting into small places so that we can see where people are trapped and what equipment that we need to use.